Hello, I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling, and welcome to the prediction portion, where I give you upcoming pay-per-view matches, the build-up to those matches, and my predictions for those matches. This is a long time coming. I haven't done one of these videos since Extreme Rules 2020, which has been just about a year, because I feel like I didn't need to. This channel is mainly dedicated to top 5 lists or news videos, and anything out of place is just that, out of place. However, WrestleMania is around the corner, so I feel it's time to bring the series back. I'm going to try to start doing it more often. I might not be able to because, school and it's never-ending crap. But I'm going to try my best. And what better time to do it than WrestleMania? It's the biggest show of the year for WWE, and it's normally their most hyped up show. So yeah, why not bring the series back? Now, not all of the matches are booked, because WrestleMania is still 2 weeks away, so I'm getting ahead of myself here maybe. But I'll just want to go ahead and get this video out and not have to put it off for any reason. It's Saturday at the time of recording. If you're watching this on Monday, you should be ashamed of yourself. So I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way and not have to put it off any longer than I already have. Of course, since WrestleMania is 2 weeks away, I might not get all the matches that will be on the card. But by the time every single one of the matches are announced, I will have my predictions for them on Insane Internet Wrestling's Instagram page, which you can follow at this thing. You're not doing anything else right now, are you? You can follow us on Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram. So with that out of the way, here are my predictions for both nights of WrestleMania 37. We'll start with Night 1. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. God bless Cesaro. The man is one of the best wrestlers WWE has had on their roster for the past half a decade, but he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves by management. Fans love him. Fans respect him for his insane work ethic and his great wrestling ability. But WWE doesn't seem to, because they've only given him mainly tag team feuds and weird singles feuds that don't amount to anything. But now, they're giving him a feud with Seth Rollins, one of the highest main eventers in the company. Here's how the feud started out, but it's kind of tricky, so bear with me. Upon his return, Seth Rollins was trying to get people to join him, like he did to Buddy Murphy and AOP, remember them. He tried to do it to Cesaro, but Cesaro refused and gave him the old swing. You remember the swing, don't you? You love the swing. Everybody loves the swing. Then after that, Rollins went into a mini feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, which resulted in a pretty good match at Fastlane. And then after that, Cesaro got back into a feud with Seth. They started attacking each other, and now they have a WrestleMania match. Now, if you were to look at this match head on, never having seen this feud before, you'd think that Rollins would get the victory here, because he's been WWE champion, he's been world champion several times, he's had a few tag title reigns, he's won a Royal Rumble, he's main evented WrestleMania, he's basically done everything there is to do in WWE. But you'd be second-guessing yourself right now. And I say that because Cesaro needs this. And that's why Cesaro is my prediction. Cesaro has not been doing great in the past few years. No, don't get me wrong. He is a phenomenal professional wrestler. Absolutely. But in terms of seizing opportunities, not really. He hasn't really done that. So this could be his chance to finally prove himself as a main eventer, not only to the fans, but to WWE themselves, and mainly Vince McMahon and all of his insaneness. I hate to give Seth Rollins 2 straight WrestleMania losses. He lost last year against Kevin Owens, never forget. But I feel like Cesaro could use this so much. I want Cesaro to win because he could become a main eventer gradually. He could win Money in the Bank. He could cash in at some point, hopefully successfully, if they don't screw it up. And he could have an amazing run as world champion. Don't tell me you don't want to see that. So yeah, bottom line, I've got the King of Swing going over the King of Drip. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Why this match? Just why? You know those instances when someone is trying to tell you something, but you just stop them mid-sentence and say, look dude, nobody cares. This match is the wrestling version of that. I couldn't care less about Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. I really have no desire to watch it because it's a boring feud. It's somewhat boring wrestlers, especially Sweaty Dad over here. And on top of that, no one cares. Now, if this was 5 years ago, I'd be fine with this. Because Braun was over, and Shane was likable. But now, hindsight being 2020, it just doesn't feel right. I don't even know what's going on in the feud, but here's my prediction. Braun Strowman, because he's 6'8" and 385, and Shane McMahon is a sweaty dad. Braun Strowman will beat the heck out of him. Let's move on. The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now this match will be good, don't get me wrong, but it's strange because AJ Styles, one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, is wrestling in the tag team division with a 7-foot guy who only just got signed to a contract a few months ago. And also, the match might be heel versus heel because the New Day are cheating to get victories now. So, I don't know. They could remain face. Hope they do. But it's confusing. Now, I love the New Day. Don't get me wrong. Ever since I became a wrestling fan, one of my favorite wrestlers has been Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier, and they've been one of my favorite factions. But they just hold the titles too much. And I think most wrestling fans will agree with me. Most. It seems that whenever the tag team division sucks, which is all the time, they just slap the belts on the New Day because they're technically the only actual team on the roster. Look at the facts. Heavy Machinery isn't a thing. The Usos, one of them is injured. I don't remember which one. There's no telling which one. And then there's this odd pairing, Styles and Omos. It's weird, but it just might work. And that's why Styles and Omos are my prediction. Because Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the company, right? We've known this for a while now. This could be his chance to finally fulfill the Grand Slam. Because a wrestler of Styles' caliber not fulfilling the Grand Slam is ludicrous. Now, there are great wrestlers who haven't fulfilled the Grand Slam. The Undertaker and John Cena immediately spring to mind. But I feel like Styles could easily do it. He's in his 40s, which means his time is slowly winding down, but it could happen. What better place to do it at WrestleMania? There's not a better place, really. Styles winning the tag titles with a giant 7-foot man who really has a good fashion sense. Yeah, it just seems right. And I love the New Day, but it's time to move on. They don't need any more tag team title reigns. But I digress. Styles and Omos, my prediction. Bad Bunny versus The Miz. What is a Bad Bunny? Now I get it, the dude won a Grammy, so he's obviously successful. But I've never heard of the guy until January. I mean, the only reason he's in WWE right now is because Booker T was in a music video with him. And Booker T's not exactly the greatest guy in the world, from a wrestling standpoint. Personally, the guy's great. I don't have anything against him, but he's not the most famous wrestler in the world, is what I'm trying to say. And now they're having Bad Bunny. Yeah, his name is Bad Bunny. Remember, terrible name. They are having him face The Miz, a guy who just lost the WWE Championship. It's really odd. It's somewhat dumb. But I do like the fact that they're pairing Bad Bunny with recent NXT call-up Damian Priest. I do like that. Now, would it have been better as a tag team match? Probably, because Bad Bunny is not an experienced professional wrestler, even though he is a former 24/7 champion, but I could be a former 24/7 champion and you just don't know it. It might have been better as a tag team match, because Priest could help carry Bad Bunny to a decent showing, but now that it's just one-on-one, I'm kind of worried that this match is going to suck, but it couldn't. It could actually be decent. But it's who I think could win that's really bothering me. Now, logically, Miz would be the obvious choice here because he has had nearly 20 years of experience in this business. He is one of the best characters in WWE if you don't take Hey Hey Hop Hop into account. And he's just great. But you know what WWE's going to do. You know what they're going to do. They don't have celebrities lose at a WrestleMania. And that is why, even though it pains me to say it, Bad Bunny is my prediction. Because, like I said, WWE will not have a celebrity lose at a WrestleMania. It doesn't matter who they're against. Lawrence Taylor, one of the best football players of the 1990s, won a WrestleMania main event against Bam Bam Bigelow. Never forget that. I'm skeptical about this match. It could be great. It could be crap. Who knows? But I think Bad Bunny's going to win, but I don't want him to. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Finally, a match I'm excited about. Now, the WWE Championship match should be the main attraction. WWE should book it with as much gusto as they possibly can and give it that big fight feel that the WWE Championship deserves. And I feel like they're kind of doing that this year. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre are two of the biggest stars that Raw has, and that's saying something because Raw is terrible. I am loving Bobby Lashley as WWE Champion. The dude is having the best year of his career, no discussion, and he's finally being taken seriously, which is amazing. With MVP by his side, and as the, I think, CEO of the Hurt Business, he's doing great, and I am here for it. And of course, Drew McIntyre is just phenomenal. He's one of the best wrestlers in the company, if not the best. And he really can't do any wrong in my eyes. That being said, I don't think he should go over. And that's why Bobby Lashley is my prediction. We've already seen Drew as WWE Champion. Twice, in fact. I want to see an entire Bobby Lashley WWE Championship reign and not a championship reign that is cut short a few months into the reign. I want to see Lashley hold it for 8 months, maybe longer. I'm not saying that Drew should never win the title again. I'm not saying that at all. He could win it again. Maybe by the time next year's WrestleMania comes around, or even before. Who knows? But I don't think he should win here because I want Bobby Lashley to have his moment. I want him to be the ultimate version of himself. And I think now he's trying. He's trying his best. And as time goes on, and as he holds that championship for a longer date, he'll get there. And I think Bobby Lashley could be the best thing going. And that's why I'm picking him. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh, no, this one is going to be good. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair are two of the best wrestlers WWE has on their roster, male or female, and definitely two of the best females in the entire world. The build-up to this has been kind of confusing, don't get me wrong, but it'll all be worth it. Now, going into the show, here's what we've seen. Bianca won the Rumble from number 3. Yeah, from number 3. That's a long time to be in there. And she and Sasha were really friendly about it because, you know, they're both baby faces. They have to be. And they started forming a team. They challenged for the Women's Tag Team Championships on a few occasions, but were never able to get the job done. And that is creating a drift between them, even though they've never been a team, which is kind of weird. And now they're really going at each other every single week. They're beating each other up, pointing, always pointing, pulling a Ronda Rousey, just pointing. Look, I'm pointing. Does that make me cool? I'm not cool, I know. But this match is going to be insane because Sasha will wrestle like her life depends on it, and Bianca Belair is just great at everything she does. Great promo work, great in-ring work, great everything. Have you seen the woman in NXT? If you haven't, go to the WWE Network or go to Peacock, whichever one you prefer, and go to NXT TakeOver Portland and watch Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Championship. Pause this video, go watch it. I will wait. Wasn't it incredible? Now all of this begs the question, who's going to win? I'm picking Bianca. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Sasha is great. But it's Bianca Belair. She just got called up a few months ago. It's her time now. Bianca Belair will do great things as SmackDown Women's Champion. She never got the chance to hold the NXT Women's Championship and have a proper reign with it. She never had a reign, period. So this could be her chance to fulfill on her promise to be a great champion. And doing it at WrestleMania is the best opportunity she could possibly have. I'm thinking Bianca Belair is going to win. I'm hoping Bianca Belair is going to win. And if she does win, I am 100% here for it. Now let's move on to Night 2. Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. What is there to say about this match that hasn't been said a million different ways in a million different videos? This is the 763rd time that Apollo Crews and Big E are going to be fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, and it's the same result every single time. It's obviously going to be Big E. I hope it's going to be Big E, but if it is Apollo, I wouldn't mind. Big E's on the run of his career. There's no doubt about it. He's finally having a singles run, and it's okay. So, having him retain here at WrestleMania and continue to go with it for a few more months could work. If he does retain, he's probably going to lose it a month or so afterwards so he can go into a World Championship feud with, you know what, I'll save that for later. But yeah, for the time being, Big E's retaining. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I never thought it'd happen. And I sure as heck didn't think it'd happen this way. Yeah, sure, we're finally getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania against each other. Finally, in a one-on-one contest. But Kevin's not the heel, and Sami isn't the face. So it doesn't feel right. Doesn't matter, it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We know they're going to do great in the ring together. But who's winning is the tough question. Both of these guys could easily win it. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens is one of the best characters in WWE today. Now, Sami is too, don't get me wrong. But he's too busy messing around with Logan Paul to be taken seriously. It'd be even better if they did a double turn. Now, I want that. Even if they didn't do that, it'd still be a great match. But I want Kevin Owens to win. Hopefully a double turn. And it'll be fantastic. But yeah, Kevin's winning. The Fiend versus Randy Orton. I want to start this entry by saying, oh my god, The Fiend looks incredible. He's burnt. He's still got little remnants of his old costume. It's incredible. It's amazing. Now granted, Orton's feud with Alexa has been very weird. They had a match at Fastlane, which Alexa won. I don't feel comfortable saying that Alexa Bliss beat Randy Orton in a one-on-one match, but it happened. It happened. This is definitely the ultimate blow-off match to a feud that I've seen in a while. Now, is it going to be Firefly Funhouse? I sure hope so. If it isn't, it just won't feel right, but it should be Firefly Funhouse. Go through everything that Orton has been through throughout his career, throughout his life, his time with the Marines. He did something to someone's bag. I don't remember the details, or I just don't want to remember the details. Him killing the entire McMahon family. It'll just be like Cena's Firefly Funhouse match, but weirder. Obviously, I'm giving the win to the Fiend. Because it's the Fiend. He needs a victory. And he needs to be a viable commodity again, like he was when he first started. Let the Fiend win, and let him be this monster that is controlling Alexa Bliss, and he is ruling over the roster, slowly killing everyone in his path. God, that got dark, didn't it? But yeah, let the Fiend win. That's what I'm trying to say. Fiend is gonna win. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. They found someone to challenge Asuka. That's all I'm saying. They found someone to challenge Asuka. I do not believe it. But yes, Rhea Ripley is not in NXT anymore, and that makes me incredibly sad because she was so good in NXT. I wish her NXT title reign had gone longer. But this match right here, Asuka and Rhea, is going to be astounding. Especially if Asuka taps into her old NXT days. Let both of them do that. Let both Rhea and Asuka tap into their NXT potential and just murder each other. That will be great. Do I want to see Rhea Ripley as Raw Women's Champion? Absolutely. But I don't think she's going to win it here. I do think she's going to win it at some point, just not at WrestleMania, and that's why I'm picking Asuka. I do think this feud is going to be longer than it is now, and they will culminate this feud in a gigantic stipulation match or something, possibly at SummerSlam. Why not? Long term, I'm picking Rhea Ripley, but for night 2, I'm going with Asuka. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. We're ending on a big one. Triple threat. Reigns, Edge, Bryan, Universal title. And this is the one I'm most excited for. I wanted this to happen for 6 months now, but not in the way you think. See, my prediction was that Daniel Bryan would win the 2021 Royal Rumble and not Edge. But then Bryan won the Elimination Chamber, and now he's in a feud with Roman, and now he's in the match that Edge and Roman were going to have. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy for it now. It's good to see Edge in WWE wrestling and being involved in the storylines, and it's just great to see Roman Reigns in general. Now, what sets this match apart from every other match that I've covered is that I have 3 options now. And that makes it tough because all 3 of these guys could easily win. But if I had to pick one, I'm picking Roman Reigns. Because I don't want to see Roman lose the belt. Especially if they are doing what they say they are. And they're going to do Reigns Rock at Mania 38. But it's just, I think Reigns is going to win. I hate to see Bryan lose. Bryan's my second option. But Reigns just seems like the logical option. So when all is said and all is done, I'm picking Roman Reigns to retain at WrestleMania and walk out still the head of the table. And those are my predictions for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Do you agree? I don't care, but if you think I care, you can let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe, and you can follow me on Twitter here. It's also my Instagram and my TikTok. Follow me. Why not? I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling. This video is excruciatingly long, and I will see you soon.